What you appreciate, appreciates. Greetings, beautiful soul, and welcome to my channel, The Optimist Hub. My name is Yanga, and today's video, I want to talk a bit about gratitude, the power of gratitude. Now, what I just said in the beginning is something that I actually got on a DM when I was celebrating, I think, 100 subscribers on YouTube. Speaking of which, we have clocked 500 subscribers on YouTube. That's insane. Also, on the 13th of July, I clocked 1 year of posting consistently, or rather, ever since I posted my introductory video, which is when I actively started posting on YouTube. So I posted that, and on Instagram I got a DM from a mutual, and he said, what you appreciate appreciates. So literally, you are grateful for the little things, you're celebrating the small wins, you're most likely to attract growth. And I was like, oh my goodness, thank you so much. And that sat with me, right? And I thought, okay, cool. Today, let me actually share, or rather talk about gratitude being the attitude that attracts, right? Gratitude is something that, for me, I believe, it gives you peace. There's something about being grateful. There's something about gratitude. Gratitude brings you home to self. It centers you. It grounds you. Gratitude also requires a lot of awareness and mindfulness as well. We ought to be aware of the things that are around us. We ought to be aware of self in the moment that is now. We ought to be aware of the things that we have and not fixate our eyes, or rather fix our eyes on the things that we lack. I think gratitude also is an abundance mindset more than it is a lack mindset. I feel like oftentimes we tend to focus on the things that we don't have, which is a lack mindset. It is a poverty mindset, right? We ought to look at the things that we have and embrace them, love them, nurture them, be grateful for them, because it is the gratitude that will attract more abundance. Your cup will overflow because you are grateful for whatever is in the cup itself, whatever contents are in the cup. You are grateful for that, and the gratitude will fill that cup up. It will overflow in abundance and literally attract whatever it is that you seek, whatever it is that you desire, whatever it is that your heart longs for, right? I find that gratitude gives us peace. It is something that draws us, that pulls us back into the present moment. There is power in being in the present moment, because truly and honestly, and as I've mentioned before, the present moment is eternal. We are always in the present moment. Even the future, which is tomorrow, will be a present moment tomorrow. And so we ought to be in the present moment. This is how we ground ourselves. This is how we bring ourselves back to the awareness of the now, and be present, and most importantly, be grateful of this time, this opportunity that we have, that is today, which is the present, right? Which, allow me to be cheesy, but the present being the gift. And we have the gift of time, right? Gratitude allows us to be aware of this. It is an attitude that we ought to carry, that we ought to embody. As I often say as well, gratitude is something that, honestly, I believe is a cornerstone. It's like an anchor. It's like a pillar that we ought to live by. It's something that we ought to lean on towards, right? Imagine this, for example, and I think I mentioned this in one of my podcast episodes on Spotify. If you didn't know, I do have a podcast. Please do check it out. Greetings, beautiful soul, and welcome to my podcast, The Optimist Hub. My name is Yanga, and today's podcast episode, we are talking about the magnitude of gratitude. Now, gratitude is said to, first of all, gratitude is to give thanks. It is to appreciate that which you have and that which you do not have, with faith and belief that you shall have it, right? I'll leave the link in the description box below. But yeah, there I talk about gratitude and the magnitude of gratitude, being that having gratitude is such a big thing, very important thing to have and to embody, right? And in that podcast episode, I mentioned an example where And this is how to prove this point that I'm saying, when you have gratitude, you're attracting more. For example, if you have, I don't know, a kid or another person asking you for something, right? Say, for example, someone is asking you for bread, a piece of bread, right? And you give them the bread, and they're so grateful. Like, they are so grateful. Thank you so much for the bread. I really needed it. Thank you so much. And in the moment, because this person is thanking you, not from a selfish point of view or an egotistical point of view, right? But like, because this person is thanking you so much, you then start to search for more things in your plastic or whatever, your lunchbox, whatever. And then you give them more because they were grateful. Again, this is how I believe God, the higher power, the universe works, is the more you're grateful for something, the more you're attracting, and you're going to receive more of what, if not something bigger and greater than what you want, right? And so imagine this, you're asking God for something. When you ask God for something and you return the favor by giving thanks to God or the higher power, the universe, however you refer to God as, and God is most likely to give you more of what you want. Again, and I often say, I think gratitude is also, it's very important to express, not only to feel it and just keep it within. We have to express it. We have to speak it out of our tongues. Why? Because our tongues hold the power to create, right? Our tongues create. The words that we utter are very powerful. In fact, they attract. And so when you are grateful for the thing that you have, however big or small, right? And I believe there's no such thing as a small thing that we receive from God or the higher power, right? But however big or small, the more we give, we express, gratitude, the more we attract. Because there's power in our tongues, the more we attract more of whatever it is that we have received. Because there is power. Your words hold power. And with that said, beautiful soul, I truly hope that today's video was insightful for you, and you lean into just being grateful. I think oftentimes we tend to complain a lot. We complain a lot. Not everything is going to go our way. Look, life it's a series of events. It's a series of events, favorable and unfavorable. But I think it's important to look around and be grateful, be mindful, be aware of what blessings we have, right? Of the things that we have, and not just tangible things. Could be intangible, the feelings that we have within us, the love that we express and that we receive from others. Be grateful of the connections that you make, your friends, your family. Be grateful for the peace that you have, if you have, which I hope if you don't, you do find. Be grateful for anything and everything that you can identify in your life. And I think just to share a bit before I leave, which I think you can do as well, every Sundays I do this thing called Gratitude Sundays. I actually write it down on my journal. I always journal. You probably know this by now. I journal 10 things that I'm grateful for that happened in the week. I would love to do this every day. However, life is lifing, and I lose track of things and time. Okay, not time, but guningi during the week. So for me, Sundays are perfect. I get to reflect on the week that was. I get to give thanks to God, to the high power, for the things that took place, for the things that I have, for who I am, for the moment that is the present moment, for life. Give thanks for life. Your heart is still beating this very moment. You are seeing this right now because, one, you were probably meant to see it. Two, because there's still purpose. Your heart is still beating in this very moment because there's purpose that lies within you, that lives within you, that is bubbling inside of you, that is wanting to manifest itself through you. So be grateful for that. Be grateful for this present moment. And with that said, beautiful soul, may goodness and grace lead you to greater heights of success and gratitude. Namaste.